Hello, everyone, and welcome. First of all, thanks to Shern and Monash University for organizing this conference and having me here today. Also, thanks to you all for taking the time to attend this session. As Lynn mentioned, my name is Carol, and I am going to briefly present the findings of an evaluation study on multi-source feedback implementations recently conducted by the Royal Australasian College of Physicians. Before we delve into the details of the study, I would like to give you some background. So why an evaluation of an MSF tool? Simply put, because of recent regulatory changes in continuing professional development requirements for Australasian medical practitioners. As some of you might already know, these changes have been suggested by the Medical Board of Australia with its professional performance framework and its 5 pillars, especially with the first pillar called strengthening CPD. Among others, one of the aims of this pillar is to encourage a greater use of CPD activities focused on reviewing performance and measuring outcomes. And the MSF, as you can see, is considered a review and performance activity. Now, considering this regulatory landscape and given the role of the RACP in supporting its membership, the college was and still is very interested in optimizing future MSF implementations to help Australasian fellows make use of this tool easily and effectively. For those of you who are not familiar with the MSF tool, it is a 4-stage process. The participants, in our case, RACP fellows, complete a self-assessment questionnaire about their practice. Then they seek feedback about their practice from their colleagues and patients. After this, the data from both the participant self-assessment and the feedback from colleagues and patients is collated in a report, and then this report is delivered to the participant and the debrief facilitator. As the last step, the participant meets with the facilitator for the debrief session in order to review the report, have a chat about the feedback received, and ideally develop an action plan to address identified areas of practice improvement. Well, now that you have better understanding of an MSF tool, I'm going to show you how the evaluation study was conducted. It was based on a sequential mixed method study design. So that means that we used both surveys and interviews to collect our data. And here on the slide, you can see a nice timeline with the timing points for both the MSF process and our study, with some additional information about the numbers of participants to the study itself. Our results have been grouped within the 3 key themes of feasibility, effectiveness, and sustainability. But if you are interested in better understanding all the results, I would suggest you to read the abstract for the conference and also the paper that you can find at the bottom of the slide, because really we don't have enough time now to go through the results, but it would be interesting, I think, because it will give you an idea on how to implement an MSF that it's easy to complete and effective and sustainable for our physicians to use. What I would like to highlight today is why an MSF tool could contribute to the promotion of a feedback culture in medical practice. We found that after medical training is complete, there is often a little opportunity for feedback for physicians. In this context, the MSF appears to fill a feedback void. Being the MSF a process based on seeking feedback from co-workers and patients, as we have just seen, we think that the MSF could strongly promote a culture of feedback, especially if implemented according to specific needs and contexts. In addition to this, we also found that most participants regarded the debrief as a central component of an MSF. Our participants said, in fact, that this session helped them contextualize feedback, acknowledge strengths instead of focusing on negative feedback only, and reframe negative feedback results as potential areas of improvement for practice change. I would also like to stress here that the debrief session is perfectly in line with the definition of feedback used in medical education and also continuing medical education. Feedback is in fact considered as a co-constructed process in a shared space. And this is exactly what happens during a debrief with a trained facilitator. As last reflection, we also think that promoting a feedback culture and being based, and the MSF being based on feedback, we also think that this tool has the potential to promote a learning and performance culture in medical practice. There is shared agreement on the value of feedback for performance improvement in many different disciplines and fields, including medical education. A so-called feedback loop that you can see here explains very clearly how feedback and performance are linked and what are the steps to take to make that happen. We think that the MSF would help physicians improve their practice because it allows them to seek feedback, learn through reflection, also with the help of a debrief session. And also it helps them set specific goals and take action to achieve them with visible results in their professional and clinical performance. Of course, further research is needed to implement MSF processes in an optimal manner, but this tool has the potential to close the feedback loop. And this is my last slide. And thank you everyone again. And please feel free to contact me anytime for questions or even a chat. You have all my contacts here. And this is also my face. So if it happens, you see me on the street or anywhere else, just feel free to say hello. You know who I am. Thank you again.